Hey guys, welcome back to Aviassembly. Today, we're going to be building something that is a helicopter that is hopefully kind of fast, because we're going to add some forward-mounted engines. Hopefully this thing will be speedy. Anyway, let's get straight to building, shall we? Alright, first things first then, we need to pick ourselves a cockpit. And honestly, what I'm thinking of doing is using kind of this one, which is the glider cockpit. It's kind of strange, but we'll see how this goes. Let's go ahead and attach this guy to the back. We're going to bring it backwards a little bit. There we go. And yeah, I don't know. I think this is kind of cool. We're going to delete this little bit though. What I want to do from there, weirdly, even though this is a helicopter, is I want to shove this guy on the back. Okay, what we're going to do from there is invert it so that it's faster. And you know what? We should probably just make this fit. Oh, that's cool. So far, so good. You know, in order to actually change this as well, we're going to go ahead and change the keybinds. So to speed up, we're going to go with, I don't know, let's go with Shift. And to slow down, we're going to go with Alt. There we go. Shift speeds it up, Alt slows us down. Sure. What we're then going to do is get ourselves some little wings. I want to go with some small delta wings on each side. They're actually bigger than I would hope, to be honest. But it is what it is, so we're going to chuck those guys right there. And weirdly, we're going to chuck these guys on the edges. Okay. I then want to move these guys inwards, and we're actually going to shove, weirdly, one of those engines on the back of there as well. I believe these are electric engines anyway, but that's pretty cool. Yeah. Alright, skinny this up a little bit too, and add, I guess, a point, sort of, to the front. There we go. That looks awesome. I actually really like it so far. We're also going to have to go into these and have Shift be forward and Alt be backwards. There we go. And the same one over here, Shift and Alt. Okay, also invert both of these. Otherwise, we're going to have some serious issues. There we go. Cool. As far as mounting the helicopter blades, I think I'm actually just going to go ahead and shove this on the top right here. I'm going to lower it down just a little bit. There we go. And I would say that looks really cool. We might have to move it backwards quite a bit though. Let's have it go all the way back to like there. Lower it down a little bit more. That looks bizarre. I like it. Okay, as far as landing gear, we need to try and figure it out. So what I'm going to do is have, I don't know, probably this retractable landing gear. Oh, it's too big. It's too big. Go for a smaller one. Retractable landing gear here. Okay, we are going to spin both of these around. There we go. And I'm going to have to, like, place it in the actual thingamabobby. There. Alright, so far so good. If we then get another one of those and chuck it on the front. There we go. All I have to do is move it upwards until we have it all be level. There we go. That's it right there. Perfect. This thing's sick. I do think at the minute I have infinite electricity on, so this could be interesting, but let's go ahead and see where the center of gravity is. We should be good. Drag-wise, yeah, we're fine. Let's get ourselves in the air and see what happens. Okay, so in order to take off, spacebar. Oh yeah, landing gear up. And then, okay, it wanted to tip over backwards quite a bit until I turned on these motors at the back. Oh boy, I can't pitch. I couldn't pitch. Alright, this thing needs modification. Fine. Okay, so weirdly, the modification on this is gonna go here. Yes, so skinny this up quite a lot, skinny that up quite a lot too. Let's go ahead and shove this on here and move it in. Oh yeah, there we go. Alright, lift it up a tiny bit, I guess. That's kind of fine. Yeah, sure. From there, we're going to go and add this guy to the back, and we're going to zoom it backwards like so. We're then going to attach these guys together. Alright, that's pretty weird, but should be fine. Alright, there we go. From there, we're not going to mirror it. We're just going to chuck one of these guys on. Are you serious? Why is it going on sideways? What's happening there? Come on! I hate when this happens. Alright, hang on. I've got an idea. It's not going to be symmetrical anymore, because that's dragged backwards. Why won't it snap? Snap on there, please! Well, that's not too bad. And we can call this thing like the Mosquito or something. That's pretty cool. Let's go ahead and bring this backwards a little bit more. And we'll actually drag it slightly up if we can. So grab this, bring it upwards like this. There we go. And we're actually going to go ahead and put a tail fin on there. So I need to turn it around so that it's actually the right way around. There we go. We'll move that backwards. That's fine. And then we need to put 2 more of those guys on as well. Although they are going to be slightly different. So let's start mirroring. There we go. They're going to be slightly different because this is going to be twisted over. And it's actually going to have a weird angle downwards. There we go. I think that's really cool. Bring it inwards. Bring it backwards a little bit. Bring it downwards. And there we go. Alright, should we see how this works? Alright, yeah, thought that might happen. Alright, we need to change things up. Hang on, edit plane. Yep. I think if I get rid of this wheel at the front, we can actually shove a singular wheel, like one of these little ones, on the rear like this, spin it around, and we get ourselves a really cool thing. Maybe. Front wheels are too close to the center of gravity. We'll see what happens. Yeah, that's fine. That's perfect. Alright, take off, please. Perfect. Alright. I mean, I say perfect. It doesn't actually work particularly well as a helicopter, but we are flying. I like it. This thing is sick. Alright, are we full power on everything? Oh. It wants to dive down quite a bit, and I'm not sure why. Oh! We just bounced off the ground. Oh my goodness. I don't know how this thing is still alive, but it's totally working. Uh-oh, going down. Well, I mean, I really like this thing, but I think we can do maybe a little bit better. This thing is kind of a little bit imbalanced, and I'm not sure why it likes to just dive and die. Like, I don't really have very much control over the pitch of this. So let's try and build something else. Hasta la vista, baby! Delete! There we go. Alright, what about if we used an actual helicopter thing? Yeah, let's go with that. Actual helicopter thingamabobby. Bring it backwards a little bit. This is like a Huey type dealio, but we are going to change it up so it looks weird. It's literally what I'm thinking. Anyway, let's go ahead and just fix these bits. There we go. Fix that little bit right there. Excellent. Is the bottom bit unfixed too? Totally is. 1, 2. Excellent. 1, 2. I think we're good. And then on the rear, we're just going to go ahead and do this. Circular. Very nice. Very nice indeed. All right. Fix this piece so it's more actual circular. There we go. And we're going to do this. And we're going to do this. Okay. Right. It looks weird. I know. But that's fine. It's allowed to look weird. There we go. Bring it backwards. In fact, if you guys know what this somewhat looks like, even like just a tiny bit, let me know. Let me know what you think this looks like. Anyway, what I'm going to do from there is add the actual propellers. How big are these ones? These ones are quite large. They are really large. We're going to shove that on there. And I'm going to lower it down inside. Okay, so we can only see this bit. We're then going to get another one. And we're going to chuck it back here. So that we can see the other bit. Aha, there we go. That does kind of mean that we need this to be wider at the back, I guess. But we can just do wideness. We don't necessarily have to make it fatter. Alright, there we go. So far, so good. Kind of like a Chinook, but not really. Alright, so, again, I do want forward-facing, or forward momentum engines is what we're going to call them. Let's get ourselves a big tail fin. And I'm going to chuck that right here at the front. In fact, right there next to the cockpit. So far, that looks pretty crazy. But let's go ahead and push it in. There we go. We're going to add a fuselage to the side of this. Actually, you know what? Let's do jet engines. Let's do mini jet engines. Why not? I think that could be fun. Tiny jets. There we go. Put them on there the right way around. Which is like this. And push them in. Just a tiny bit. There we go. That's pretty cool. Okay, in order for these to work, Shift and Alt. There we go. Gonna do the same thing over here. Shift and Alt. That should be fine. Okay. Kind of wanted to do it twice. So actually, let's go ahead and fit some back here as well. There we go. On the rear? Yeah, on the very rear of this. There we go. Also going to angle those slightly down. So, here we go. Angle it slightly down. Did I already do that with these ones? I don't think I did. There we go. And put the engines on, and I think that will be amazing. Flip them over, obviously. Here we go. Oh, actually, hold on. I think that undid this. There we go. Yeah, so we're going to shove that on there. We're then going to make sure that our snapping is on. That's what we need. So snap angle 90 degrees. Bosh and bosh. Excellent. Push them in slightly. And we have ourselves 4 engines. Oh, that's cool. Okay, so Shift, Alt. Yes. Let's go to this side. Shift, Alt. Yes. Okay, now we need some sort of landing gear. And weirdly, I actually want to use helicopter landing gear. Is that really strange? It might be a little bit weird, but what about this? Here we go. So if we chuck that on there. Alright, so it looks like we only have 1. But actually, we'll have 2. Yeah. If I could put it in the same location, that'd be great. There we go, we got 2. They're at slightly different heights. But if I move this one up, and then I move this one up so that it fits, it's going to have to be a little bit higher. Which means this one's going to have to be a tiny bit higher as well. There we go. Alright, hopefully this works. What a bizarre looking thing. Guys, something... Look, watch this. Something explodes. Oh, it's the rear prop. The rear prop explodes when I spawn in. That is weird. How peculiar. That's very strange. Anyway, jet engine's on. Let's go, go, go. Oh, yeah. Can you imagine this thing flying around in real life? Beautiful. Doesn't fly particularly nicely, but I really like the way that it looks. I think we should try and fix it so the rear thing doesn't explode. I don't actually know what's doing it, is the problem. I'm just going to go and attach these guys here and hope that that stops it from exploding, but nope, it doesn't. Oh, the front one explodes too. Why? Why are they exploding? Anyway, let's take off like a plane. It does just about do it, but we need the power and the lift of the propellers. There we go. I don't know, I think this is sick. I actually really like it. It's just, for some reason, it only wants 3 blades instead of 4. But once it does have 3 blades, it still works out. Yeah. Alright, let's fly back home. Where is it? I think it's over here somewhere. Yes. So obviously you go full throttle with the blades on the top, and you can go full throttle with the jet engines. And then, if you want to, you can throttle down on the jet engines and fly it pretty much like a helicopter. Yeah. It's a bit wobbly because it's not balanced because, yeah, the 3 propellers. But it kind of works. Kind of. Alright, I'm going to go in for a landing. We're just going to land... I kind of want to land up here, I'm not going to lie. I think it would be really cool too. Here we go. Alright. It's a bit wobbly. Again, it's unbalanced, but... Look! Look, we did it! Kind of? Yeah! That might be one of the first times I've ever done that. That's pretty cool, though. Alright, nice. Yeah, I'm happy with it. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys think. I might try and build one... Oh, my goodness. Whoa! I'm going to try and build one more. Right, let's do it. One final build, and actually it's going to be a quick one. So, we're going to go ahead and chuck this engine on here. We're going to chuck a faster engine on the rear, if I can. I'd actually really like to add one of these again, but it's not seemingly just putting it on there. These are RAM engines. I don't know if I ever used those. Yeah, it'd be nice if I could just actually just put... Oh, could do that. Ooh, could do that. Could do this. There's so many things. Alright, let's go ahead and delete that really quick. What I'm going to do is grab one of these guys, chuck it on there. For some reason it did that. That's weird. Alright, let's just go ahead and make this circular too. Good. And then we should be able to attach one of these guys to the back of that. Okay, so far so good. If we then make this just smaller, that should be fine. There we go. Yeah. Let's make this one a push. Invert, yes. It's going to be Shift and Alt again. we're going to do the same thing here. Shift, Alt. Doesn't need inverting because it's on the front. Very nice. Small propeller. Yeah, right above. Shove it in. Oh, yeah. We're then going to get ourselves helicopter flooring thingamabobbies. That's all good. Yep. And we're going to move it slightly up. I say slightly. It actually has to go really far up. And that's fine. They're actually too big for this, but that's okay. This looks interesting so far. Okay, we now actually do have the front and the back on anyway, but what I want to do is get some tail fins, just chuck them on the back like this, and actually have them angled 45 degrees upwards. There we go. I'm going to have to move them sort of out of the way of the helicopter blades, but that's fine, and we'll move them slightly forwards so they're not touching these blades at the back. That's interesting. It just automatically explodes because of the, this. That's really weird. Let me just shove it on the bottom then. Unfortunately, it is going to look uglier that way, but I don't really have an option. Why is everything exploding? I think it is literally down to, this. So we're going to put wheels on it instead, I guess? And actually, it could be kind of interesting to do this. So wheels there, and rear wheel here. As long as that is lower than this, it should be fine. We're also going to raise this up loads. There we go. That looks so bizarre. Okay, no explosions. So we can actually fly it like a plane, kind of, but we don't have the lift. So then we have to use the helicopter blade to lift us into the air. And then it actually flies. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Yeah. Because it doesn't have lift, it actually kind of sucks. Ah! In terms of the propeller on the top. So, weirdly... Oh, yeah. We don't have the pitch in order to actually pitch up. I don't have it. Okay, I've strapped 2 more of these thingamabobbies on the front so that hopefully we have more control over pitch. Which it does appear that we do, but it's not really the aesthetic that we wanted, unfortunately. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Alright, never mind. Doesn't work. Doesn't work. I want to come back and do more of these. But for now, I'm going to end this video here. Thank you guys very much for watching whatever the heck this was. Let me know which one of the designs was your favorite. And I'll see you in the next one. Yeah. Goodbye.